So Casanova 2 times now he pens a letter to the judge, as he awaits sentencing in Rico case. He's now denouncing the Gorilla Stone gang, and he's writing the letter talking about all kinds of things that he wants to separate himself from in this gang. Let's listen to the letter that he wrote to the judge, and then we'll come back for our commentary. Let's check it out.
Alpern. I first wrote this as what I would just say to you on the day that you sentenced me. I do hope to say a few words to you on that day, but I will be nervous and did not want to leave anything out. I would like to thank you, Your Honor, for your consideration. I would like to sincerely apologize to the court, society, and my family for my actions and role in this case and for the victims of gang activities. I take full responsibility of my actions because as a man, I had the power to make different decisions and I chose not to. I do not have a problem with this court considering the man I was in my youth and the fact that I stayed a member of this gang. What is important to me is that the court see who I truly am and the man I became and tried to be. Your Honor, growing up in the streets of Flatbush, Brooklyn wasn't easy for me. Faced with poverty, struggle, and no dad around, I made bad decisions. Now that is on me, but I would hope that you can understand that I didn't really have anyone showing me a different path. As I spoke to young people in the last few years that were already in the streets and in trouble, and some were on their way there, I thought back to my early days. I tried to be the voice that would tell them not to go where I went. I had been there, and by the grace of God, I was in a place where they would actually listen to me. It took time and a lot of hard knocks for me to learn that the streets and crime would doom me. When I was sentenced in 2008 to 6 years, I thought my life was over. I lost my wife and my family. While I had been in here, I lost my father to cancer. While I put on that strong facade, all I wanted to do was end it. Surviving on Rikers Island in upstate correctional facilities were not easy with racial and gang tension and violence at its height. I had to act the part in there because if I didn't, I would be killed. I will face that same fate now because I am telling you and anyone that will listen to me, that will listen, that I wanted out before I was arrested and I am out. I learned through my music career that people will listen and that I don't need to associate myself with a gang to succeed. I don't need to associate with a gang even if I don't succeed. I came home with a desire to change. I vowed to bring my family back together. My mom, my wife, daughter, my son, and other relatives. I found a new hope when I found music. It wasn't just the fun. The music helped me mentally as I finally found a way to vent something I always had trouble with, battling mental health and social anxiety. I was released from prison in 2013. I completed 5 years supervised release with no violations, and in 2016, I was given a real opportunity to succeed in a music career. Like other rappers before me that were in the gang life, I thought I needed to stay in that life in name because it was a way to promote my career. I don't care what the government tells you, I am telling you the truth. I was not involved in the daily activities of this gang. I wasn't anyone's boss. What I was and regret, what I was and I regret, this was a person that they could use to promote themselves in a world. I swear to you, I was trying to leave. I clearly did not do a good job enough. I clearly did not do a good enough job of this as I find myself in one bad situation after another. Let's go to the next one. It says, for the first time in my life, I felt I could do something good for society. I knew the path of the gang life was a dead end. I mean, dead end. You die on the outside or you die in jail. I found a way to tell young people that. Time and time again, for the first time in my life, I was a real father, a real husband, and a person that could maybe, just maybe, help people avoid my disaster of a life. It felt good being home, doing the right thing for the first time in my life. The government will tell you that all my music was about gangs and violence. It wasn't. Some was because it sold. I used that image to sell music legally. Other raps were not. One song made it clear that life in jail was the most depressing one a person could find themselves in. I did use the gangsta image as an artist, but that was not the man I was striving to become. I am sorry for my past. I am sorry for the robbery, but I am telling you I acted out of impulse in taking that lady's phone and deleting the video, but this is all I wanted to do. I did not tell anyone to do anything. I had the phone, I was deleting the video and giving it back. I never intended any harm to come to anyone. I was in a diner. The other two incidents haunt me. I did not intend for any of it to happen. I did not go to the club that night to do anything but celebrate my birthday. The party was a party and I went there to have fun. It was not some gang thing, but it became one. I'm not asking you to ignore the bad. There's plenty of it. I'm asking you to see the other side that was finally starting to shine. I'm not who the government wants you to believe I am, and I am not a man you or anyone needs to worry about in the future. I am coming out hoping to further my music career without needing or wanting any image. I can make it without it, and I will continue speaking out against the gang life. I stand in front of you today, a 36-year-old man who has made the mistakes that I must put behind me and continue on the path I was on. I have made contacts to continue speaking out against gangs while doing my sentence. This is not something new. I started this years ago. I'm telling you and anyone that will listen, I am no longer a member of Gorilla Stone or any other gang. Respectfully, Caswell Sr.
Now, as you can see in that letter, he's denouncing the gang. He said that he never was really a part of the violence or any of those things. He was just trying to do that just to boost his career. And I want to tell you young people out there something. I keep telling you that the streets is a myth. A lot of these guys perpetuate and promote violence, but they're not living that stuff themselves, man. And they're leading a lot of young people astray. They're normalizing a deaf culture to a lot of young people. But now when it's time to pay the piper, when it's time for him now to deal with the consequences of action, he don't want to deal with them because that wasn't who he was from the start. All of that stuff was fake. You young people, man, stop crashing out because you're going to crash and burn. They warehousing you. They giving you all kinds of football numbers, man. They can't wait. They salivating, those judges. They can't wait to get you in the courtroom just so they can give you 1,000 years. Just so they can say they sentenced the nigga. So I'm trying to tell y'all, man, listen to what he's telling you. He telling you that this is fake. That's not who he was. That's not what he represented. That's not who he wanted to be. Because now he can't deal with what's coming behind that. So I hope that y'all can listen and learn, man. If not, they got a place waiting for you too. And jail ain't the place you want to be, man. Jail ain't the place you want to be. Because you see these guys, I ended with this. This guy spent years trying to prove to the streets that he was a real nigga, that he was a gangster. Now he about to spend a lifetime trying to prove to the judge and the DA that he's not that guy. He's a nice guy. He spent years in his music trying to prove to the world he was a gangster. He was a guerrilla thug. Now he spend a lifetime trying to prove to the DA and the judge that he wasn't that guy. He's just a nice guy. You got a choice to make. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.